Hey guys, Joe here, and today I'll be here to talk to you about the top 5 highest budget video games ever created. I hope you enjoy, and let's get this list started. Final Fantasy VII at first glance may not seem to have been a very expensive game, but underneath the first glance, you realize it is in fact a monster as far as cost. The reason for that is that it did have to switch in between 3 systems and go 3 times from system to system. It went from the Super Nintendo to the N64, then to the PlayStation and the PC. The game started to develop in 1994 and then eventually made its debut in 1997. The game's total costs were about $145 million, but luckily for the producers it sold extremely well, and it definitely sold better than how much the bill cost. It's a very good game and is praised as one of the best games. It is a very good high budget game and you can just tell the sparkle in its eye. Star Wars: The Old Republic is a very different game than the others, that being that it is the only huge MMO that spent $150 to $200 million on creating and marketing the game. This game was originally published in 2008 and was finally finished releasing in 2011. This game got a lot of love for having one of the best stories ever in a Star Wars or in a video game. It created a whole universe made for the time in between the Knights of the Old Republic and the original movies, and they bothered to create a whole new world. They in fact hired 12 full-time writers to create the story for this world, which is very impressive. The game had over 200,000 lines of voice, and this really helped push the story along and make it become fully immersive for the average player. It is a subscriber-based game, so there is no way to tell the exact amount of money that it got, or to know how well it sold. But as far as the player base, it seems like they did pretty well and got quite a bit of money, and had the money well spent on creating this masterpiece of a game. One of the older games on this list happens to be Call of Duty Modern Combat 2. Now this game had a $200 million budget, including marketing and developing costs. In the first 24 hours of the release of this game, it sold a whole 4.7 million copies and got $310 million, surpassing the cost of the game by quite a bit and making it pay for itself. The amount of money poured into this game was very easy to see. There were a lot more weapons and maps than previous titles, and had a story that would be able to change perspective and added a lot of perspective into the game. A whole new development system was made for this game to be able to make up all the new gigantic maps at the time. This game has been praised as one of the best games and shooters of all times, and has been receiving rewards for years after its release. Lately, people still want a HD remake of this game, so it really shows how much love this game still has going for it. GTA 5 was a huge game release that released just a few years back. The development had started in 2009 and finally completed after 4 years in 2013. It had a $265 million budget and had sold $1 billion worth of revenue by the 3rd day after its release. The game is very polished and once again was popularized by the violent themes within the game. It had a great single player and eventually got the multiplayer that everybody was waiting for. With extra money, the people that made this game also had time to make a bigger world than ever before and had more interaction within it that made it feel a lot more lifelike. It was a big move to spend this much money on a game like it, but luckily it paid off tenfold for Rockstar Studios. Finally, the number 1 spot goes to the game Destiny. This game had a budget of $500 million including development, marketing, and other expenses. The game is almost 2.5 times the cost of Star Wars: The Old Republic and 2 times the cost of GTA 5. The game costs even more than the huge blockbuster known as Pirates of the Caribbean: World's End, which cost $300 million and was one of the highest costs for a movie ever created. It was finally released in 2014 and had a huge amount of hype, but unfortunately for Bungie, this game just went out as a flop. Many of the functions of this game were just not too great, and the single player was not very fun or good either. It's an okay game, but for the cost you would expect something as unto GTA 5. Not something like this. It's a fun one-time experience, but I bet that the creators of this game are a bit angry because of the bad reception of this blockbuster. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you did enjoy. If you did enjoy, then make sure to leave a comment on how your opinions are of all these games. I hope to see you guys next time, and peace out.